Okay. All right, folks, let's get started. All right, you could actually mute yourself now, Jason. All right,
Yeah.
good evening, everyone. This is John Gopal, and I'm here in New York City, and we're going to share with you folks tonight a business model, actually a product science from a company I'm very excited to talk about because about 5 months ago, on January 12th, a very good friend of mine that we're involved in another business model, he shared with me something that I thought was really crazy. He shared with me, he said, John, I'm a type 2 diabetic. And for the last 4 years, I've been using a medical device that's classified as a medical device out of the United States, but it's in the United States. And that device is $6,500. And I had cold feet, never took my socks off for a total of 8 years. And this device, I know the device because I own one. And I know the device personally, and he said it didn't work for me. He said, and I purchased another device for $4,500. And that device didn't do anything for me. But all of a sudden, I learned about this device that we're going to talk about tonight that's out in Germany in January 12th, when he shared this with me. No one had a device in the United States. A couple of people in California had it. They were testing it because the company were looking to market their business in the United States. So he learned of this and he bought the device out of Germany. He spent $600 just a shipping and VAT tax and custom duty to get the device in the United States. And he said, John, within a matter of days, my blood glucose went back to normal. My A1C is an 11. My blood glucose is 271. I'm going to show you those pictures before and after. And I said to myself, to him, I said, you got to be crazy. It's impossible. I said, no, Bima does certain stuff, but there's nothing could actually really fix and get your glucose down that way without medication. Went to his doctor, and his doctor told him he was crazy also. Well, you guys got to wait until I come to the testimonial part to hear the other part of the story. Well, just imagine here, we know a lot, everybody's thinking the sky is falling. And because of the pandemic of the COVID-19, because of unemployment, because their 401k, people are at a point right now, the sky is falling for them. Well, the sky isn't falling. So I want you to imagine you're born in 1900. When you are 14, World War I starts and ends on your 18th birthday, with 22 million people killed. 22 million. Later in the year, a Spanish flu epidemic hits and run until you are 20. 50 million people died from it within 2 years. When you are 29, the Great Depression begins. Unemployment rate, the unemployment rate hit 25%. Global domestic product dropped to 27%. A lot of you know that GDP is based on consumer spending. That means people are not spending any money. That runs until you are 33. The country nearly collapsed. Along with the world economy, when you're 35, 39, World War II starts. When you're 41, the US is pulled into World War II. Between your 39th and 45th birthday, 75 million people perish in the war. At 52, the Korean War starts, and 5 million people perish. Approaching your 62nd birthday, you have the Cuban Missile Crisis, a tipping point in the Cold War. Life on our planet could well have ended. Great leaders prevented that from happening. At 64, the Vietnam War begins. 4 million people died. As you turn 75, the Vietnam War finally ends. Think of everyone on the planet born in 1900. How did you survive all of that? A kid in 1985 didn't think their 85-year-old grandparent understood how hard school was, yet those grandparents survived through everything listed above. So the moral of that story, let's try and keep things in perspective. Let's be smart, help each other out, and we will get through all things. In history of the world, there has never been a storm that lasts. So the sky isn't falling for those people who are thinking consciously. They're thinking all the negative stuff, so they bring those things into their lives. We're going to talk about the conscious mind, the 12th dimension, the dimension 9 to the 12th, which is those are the conscious mind, because what you think you become. And the science we're going to talk about has been proven scientifically, has been proven medically. So it's not something that we're going to talk about that people say it's snake oil, because we're not selling lotion or potion. Snake oil only work on lotion or potion. We're scrub marketing, and we're going to share to everyone a legal, legitimate, class 2 cleared medical device that the FDA say that is one of these devices that the doctors can use in their office, a physician, a hospital, clinic, and you can use it at home. So let's get started. So to understand that, we're going to talk about frequency for life. Frequency for life will go when we talk about health, well-being, balance. Folks, health and happiness is key to life, because if you don't have health, you don't have happiness. You can have money, you don't have happiness. If you have money and you don't have health, you have nothing. So people in third world countries, they have money, but they don't have health and they don't have happiness. We're going to share you how to have it all. So to understand our talk tonight, let's go back to Robert O. Becker. Robert O. Becker is an orthopedic surgeon and expert researcher in the field of electrotherapy, author of the Bible of modern electromedical technology, The Body Electric, written in 1985. And you may want to go online and Google, get the ebook or get the excerpt that talks about body electric and regeneration. Well, Professor Becker taught at the University of Syracuse in upstate New York. He was one of the first scientists to publicly point out the danger of electro smog as early as 1975. Well, we didn't have 2G, 3G, 4G then, but today we're having 4G, 5G. So we have a lot of electro fog, and electro smog has an ability to rob our body of oxygen, but also have an ability to damage the DNA. When you look at 5G is as equally as dangerous. But it's a money-making deal, just like pharmaceutical. His main field of research was regeneration of organs, an organ system through the use of your body-owned electromagnetic phenomena. And that's what we're going to talk about here. And this is what this whole talk is about vibration, is about frequency. And I just want to point you to the salamander, which is an amphibian, and the frog, which is an amphibian. But a salamander, those little lizards, I call them, their body radiates at a frequency that if they sever a limb, a tail or a leg or an arm, it would immediately grow back within weeks or within 90 days. But if you did that to a frog, which is part of the amphibian family, if you amputate a frog leg just to do a research, it wouldn't grow back because the frequency of that body is different. But if you apply the same frequency that the frog radiates at from the salamander, and you apply it to the frog, that limb on that frog would regrow. And that's what we're going to talk about here, because the human body, within the organs are made up of millions and billions of cells. And the cell must have a certain frequency. And that's the secret of the body being the organ being balanced, the body being in balance, and your cell being healthy. So here we talk about bioenergetic field and frequency. How frequency applied to the bioenergetic field. Well, let's look at the picture. On the left-hand side, you see two structures, two human, in the form of a picture here. One is unhealthy, where you don't see any kind of energy radiated. And the other person is healthy. You see all these vibration, you see the energy, and that energy, the bioenergetic field, really radiates about 8 feet around a person. So an unhealthy body, energetic disturbance, energetic disruption, and energetic disordered. But a healthy body has energetic empowerment, energetic protection, and energetic wellness. Well, why is energetic protection so important today? Well, look around us. If your body is compromised and the bioenergetic field is weakened, like the picture on the left with the unhealthy body, and you have, those are people who have underlying medical conditions. And that's a challenge to coronavirus because the virus love people who have heart disease, who have asthma, who have diabetes, who has compromised immune system, who have any one of those challenges. Those people and the elderly are more those, the virus will really, really, how do you say, when it attacked the lungs and you're looking for respirate, it just take over not one lung, but both lungs. Now they're saying it actually go after the heart, the nerve endings, the nerves. So there's a lot of challenge. So here, let's talk. I'm going to play a video here, and it's a couple of minutes long, but it's going to explain to you about frequency. And our talk tonight is about frequency because everything on the planet is frequency.
It's not science fiction, it's science. One of the greatest inventors of all time, Nikola Tesla, the genius who lit the world, once said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Say you are listening to the radio in your car and do not like the music that you are hearing. What do? You change the frequency. What many people fail to realize is that we can take charge of our frequencies in the exact same way. We tend to reduce our body's anatomy down to a simplified version that consists of only flesh and blood. But everything on this planet, animals, plants, and water, are made of atoms, which produce, emit, and receive energy, which operates at a specific frequency. Everything. All our tissues, cells, organs, emotions, and thought patterns have their own unique electromagnetic fields, as do allergens, viruses, or bacteria. All things have a frequency, including you, the human body. You always want to be healthy, active, and balanced. That's what makes up.
Sorry, folks, I think the video.
It's world. The music that you recognize is that we can take charge that consists of only flesh and blood. But everything on this planet, animals, plants, and water, are made of atoms, which produce, emit, and receive energy, which operates at a specific frequency. Everything. All our tissues, cells, organs, emotions, and thought patterns have their own unique electromagnetic fields, as do allergens, viruses, or bacteria. All things have a frequency, including you, the human body. You always want to be healthy, active, and balanced. That's what makes up Healy, a certified medical device and wearable with a quantum sensor that uses individually determined frequencies to stimulate specific areas of your body. Researchers like Dr. Carolyn McMacken and Nuno Mina have in their clinical practice the effect of tens of thousands of such frequencies studied and tested. The result of these decades of experience is now available to you, 144,000 gold frequencies all day, with an intuitive app that puts the future into your hands. Welcome to Healy World. Healy.
All right, so to understand Healy, let's go back to Time Wave and the founder Marcus Shimsky. Marcus Shimsky is the founder and inventor of Time Wave and Healy. Healy is a sister company, but Time Wave is the first company that started using the technology of information field medicine. Later, the frequency was added to that. I'm going to talk a little about the information field medicine. He studied physicists. Let me just make sure I just have put it here. Okay, so here he actually studied physicists and philosophy. Author of 25 books translated into 10 languages. Founder of IACR and ECR, Institute of Consciousness. So let me just make sure I put this here, and lecturer at the International Congress on Integrated Science and Medicine, but he wanted to have his technology accessible to all humans. So he worked with international teams of scientists, physicians, therapists, and engineers. Nina, who is a Portuguese cell biologist, he specialized in integrated health. Clinical director and practitioner and expert in cellular biology, he is the developer of the 144,000 gold frequencies. He treated thousands of clients all over the world over the last 20 years, let's say 15 or 20 years. And Christian Harper is an entrepreneur, the founder of the super fund, hedge fund, a gentleman out in Austria, who actually invested 25 million euro to bring this technology to market from a clinical environment into the wearable space. He's the investor in sustainable technology. Here you have Healy World is developing system and concept to improve health and well-being. Now, the main office of Healy and TimeWaver is in Berlin. They're not a US, they have a US division here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, which just opened up this week. So the main office and R&D center is in Berlin. More than 12 years experience with frequency therapy in a group of company, technology built on expertise of doctors, scientists, and engineers. Now, in order to understand the second part of our talk here is about the information field medicine. So information field medicine, you're going to hear a lot about frequency specific microcurrent from the 144,000 gold frequency, but it's important to understand what goes into the Healy, what went into the TimeWaver. Well, Berkhoff-Heim is the only, not one of the only, he is the only physicist to the present day to have achieved the goal of discovering a world formula. In his informational field theory, he was driven by his lifelong strong interest in spirituality and holistic science. So for many years, it was Marcus Shempry wished that you and everyone else should have easy and affordable access to the possibility of TimeWaver technology. So TimeWaver technology is information field medicine. So where you see this, this blueprint here that looks like a bunch of chicken scratch and a scientist, right? That is Berkhoff-Heim work all through his life that he documented everything. And prior to his death, you know, he gave that to Marcus because Marcus understood the information field, the different dimension. There are 12 different dimensions, and dimension 9 to 12 is the conscious, and dimension 8 to 9 is the global information field. So he spent the last 5 years, this is back in 2007, 2002, 2003, he spent 5 years to take Berkhoff-Heim work and develop something known as a quantum sensor. And that quantum sensor has the ability to read the information field in the human's body where the cause, where are the root cause of disease is. And once you know that, then you apply the correct frequency. So the technical means to achieve his goal have only been very recently become available. So if you go to a website here, and I'm going to talk a little about this because it's very, it's so small to read. But what I want each and every one of you to go to the website called TimeWaversea.com. That's TimeWaversea.com. TimeWaversea.com, and you'll be able to pull up the same page on the Berkhoff-Heim, and you will hear his story. And let me read that out to you because it's kind of small, very small here. But Berkhoff-Heim had the biggest influence on Marcus Shimsky's professional life. Heim studied physicists in Germany and worked at the Max Planck Institute after getting his degree. After a short work engagement he decided to work by himself on his favorite topic, his unified field theory, which were much based on Einstein work. Well, we know Albert Einstein was a physicist also, but Einstein was very famous for the theory of relativity, E = mc squared, right? So here, what Birkhoff-Heim was looking at, his concept, Birkhoff-Heim concept of the 12-dimensional informational field. According to Birkhoff-Heim, our fourth dimension world, the dimension D1 to 4, represent only the lower level of the universe. Above those, the energetic control field, and I know this may be a lot of steep for a lot of you, the ECL, the energetic control field, is the dimension 5 to 6, and the conscious space, dimension 7 to 8. The fourth highest dimension is 9 to 12. Well, we're going to concentrate on dimension 7 to 8 because that's where the information field is. So the global information. So through time waiver, the higher dimension communicate with the fourth dimension in our well-known space and time. Both lower level of the consciousness room constitute the global information field. These 12 dimension brings matter into direct connection with the consciousness. In this theory, the communication between these domains take place through the time waiver. So time waiver is more information field medicine. And this is very different than traditional medicine or frequency specific microcurrent. Frequency specific microcurrent is the solution to the data that is gathered from the information field. And that's why the quantum sensor is so important. So you guys may want to go just for time. This is a lot, it's very, very deep, and we don't have the time to go through this. But if what you're going to understand here, if we are looking through information field medicine to treat disease and degenerated disease at the root cause, not to treat the symptoms. We treat root cause at the information field. And as we continue on, it will make more sense. So here we have the HEAL advisor, the 3 pillars. That's nutrition, frequency, exercise, nutrition for life, frequency for life, and motion for life. When we talk about nutrition for life, you can have the ability, you know, let's look at this. This is common. This would make sense. The body produces glutathione. If you took a cold shower, you could stimulate glutathione in the body. The food that we eat those food, hopefully it's not dead food. We eat the food for their the nutrients. And that nutrition, we want to get deep into the cell, but it's all destroyed as it enters the body through the gastrointestinal tract. That's very acidic. Well, imagine getting nutrition from frequency, that you could get 100% absorption digitally, and that's what nutrition for life. Now, Healy has patented and trademarked digital nutrition. And over the next 5 years, you're going to hear a lot about digital nutrition. You know, you may say, how is that possible? Well, go back to the fax machine. You know, you put when the fax machine came out in the 90s, you put a piece of paper in, you dial a number, and that piece of paper come out from the other side of the world. How did that happen? Well, anything is possible, right? So frequency for life is the Healy. That's the quantum sensor. That's your diagnostic system. That's the brain that scans the information field in the body at the different dimension, gets the data, and then supply the frequency. Motion for life is the Healy watch. So all these application and hardware of the Healy work in the Healy advised cloud. That's a medical cloud that's patented, and that cloud, I believe, is the only one presently in existence, since it has a patent that we have clearance on the Healy Advisor Cloud, because it stores all the frequency, all the personalized frequency from expert database, and it's driven by artificial intelligence, and it syncs with all the device in real time. So you have your practitioner search, you have your Healy Advisor application analyze app that scans the body, you have your Healy Advisor app, the digital nutrition, your Healy hardware, Healy Watch, and the Healy Watch app. Now, in order for Healy Advisor Cloud to stay compliant with the FDA in the United States and the federal medical body in Europe, Healy Advisor Cloud has to go through an audit every 3 months. So every 3 months, it has to go through a compliance audit at a cost of $1.5 million just to stay compliant for the next 3 months. So there's a lot of costs. $1.5 million to be in operation, and then to stay compliant for every 3 months, you have to pay that $1.5 million. So this is the real deal behind the company, and it is a patent. This company have well over 400 patents on their product, on their not their knowledge, but all their applications have patent. Their knowledge is not patented. So the Master Control Center coordinate the 3 pillars of your health, fitness, and vitality. So the Healy Advisor, this is what we have to say as a disclaimer. Healy is a microcurrent medical device that has been cleared by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for the relief of acute, chronic, and arthritis pain. Now, arthritis pain is a claim, and muscle soreness due to overexertion. That's the only sentence that we can legally make a claim on the Healy device, which is Class 2 cleared. What we cannot do, everything we talk about tonight are the non-medical application, such as the frequency to help balance your mind and body and relieve stress. Remember, we're talking about the different level of consciousness. Consciousness is in the space of dimension 9 to dimension 12. So we're going to be working on not the physical body alone, but the mind and the body to relieve stress. Always use your Healy in accordance with its instruction for use. DNA, in the bottom, if you notice, the content displayed by Digital Nutrition app, DNA for short, does not constitute medical advice, which can only be provided by medical doctors. So DNA stands for Digital Nutrition Application and should not be confused with genetic testing, because Healy does not do that. Now, so some facts and figure here, because we have not, although the business marketing channel, the channel of distribution from the marketing side is only 15 months old, but we don't want to confuse the product. The products and the product science been around for 16 years, but the marketing channel of distribution, it's only 15 months old. So 500,000 application, more than 500,000 application on clients and patients with Time Waiver and Healy technology and know-how. So Healy technology really is about 3 years old, because they tested it for the first 3 years and then brought it into the marketplace. That's where the research and development went in. And it took the same technology from Time Waiver and brought it into the sister company of Healy Technology. Over 40 countries, Time Waiver information field technology has been successfully used in more than 40 countries. So I want you to focus also what Time Waiver information field medicine is. More than 2,000 doctors, healing practitioners, and therapists are treating their patient using Time Waiver technology. And you're not going to hear a lot about Time Waiver, the Time Waiver technology and the information field, because it's so deep, but it exists in the Healy along with the frequency. And what the Time Waiver technology is, the quantum sensor that reads the data from the information field and make it precise to give us the exact frequency that the organ need, that the body need, that the different system. We have 13 or 14, I don't know how many systems we have, like from the cardiovascular system to the lymphatic system, to the nervous system, to all the different systems. So each one of those have different frequency. If you're addressed in depression, there's a certain frequency for that. If you're addressing issues like diabetes, there are frequencies for that. So it's a personalized frequency, an individualized, and that's where the quantum sensor does the scanning within the Healy. So to understand how the cell works, let's look at your cell metabolism and then applying frequency. So your cell metabolism in human, it is well known to everyone how water and nutrients are transported in and out of a metabolic product are transported out, which means waste. They're transported out. For cells, this transport is handled through opening in their surface, the so-called cell membrane. These valves in the cell membrane open and close as needed. This mechanism is based on voltage potential. Example, the difference in voltage between the cell interior and the intercellular space. The right or wrong amount of such potential is responsible for healthy or impaired cell metabolism. So the goal is to make sure we take an unhealthy impaired cell from its states of where it's at to become a healthy cell, and that will balance the body or the organs, whatever challenge. So let's look how frequency works by applying that. We already saw the video of frequency, that frequency plays a part in life. So as we just mentioned, the transport of matter into and out of the cell function by a kind of magnetically controlled valve mechanism. The voltage potential, example, the difference between the voltage inside the cell and the voltage between the cell, which is the intercellular space, is responsible for healthy physiological cell metabolism. In our opinion, this mechanism explains why frequency can be applied for many different purposes and in balance. And that's a secret, folks, because we are not doing surgery. We're not giving you a pill. We're using Mother Nature. We're using frequencies. Like, if you ever walk on the beach barefoot, on the sand, how do your body feel? Because what you're doing, you are absorbing the magnetic field of the earth. The mantle of the earth has a magnetic field that extends thousands and millions of miles out of space. Without that magnetic field, we cannot survive. But what we do, we drive in cars with rubber tires. We walk with shoes, with rubber shoes and leather shoes on land that's paved with cement. So we never absorb the earth's magnetic field. And we need that frequency hours to heal the cells. So it's not rocket science. And as we continue here, we will share how that works. So the cell membrane voltage model. So here, a healthy cell has an energy charge of minus 70 MV, which means millivolts. You take a battery, a brand new alkaline battery. As soon as you open it and it's brand new, it has a charge, it has a voltage. But as it goes through its daily life cycle, the voltage gets weaker and weaker until it dies. Well, our cell is the exact same thing, because the cell has to be fed, has to have enough nutrients. It needs to have good nutrients absorbed to the cell, water, air, oxygen, exercise to keep a healthy cell. So minus 70 millivolts is the healthy cell. Within organs, let's say for instance, the liver has a hertz, a measurement frequency of 626 hertz. The DNA is at 150 hertz. So we're not talking, so within those organs, you have cells, and those cells need to be at a certain energy potential. And a healthy cell is minus 70. But once you get to the area where it's minus 50, that's where you start seeing an aging sick cell. When you get to the area of minus 15, you start seeing where you see the red tumor cell, that's minus 15. So in that space of minus 50 to minus 15 is where all the disease lies. So you know tumor cell minus 15 is cancer and all that. But if where all the disease lies, from ache and pain, inflammation, eczema, arthritis, diabetes, all the challenge you think about. And if we could apply the frequency in that area from minus 50 to minus 15 to those cells come back to become a young, healthy cell. And if those young, healthy cells come back to be young, the organs become healthy. And that's That's the psychology here of applying frequency, and the information, the quantum sensor give us when it scans the body, it gives us precisely the diagnostic of what the body needs. Let's say, for instance, you take your car to the car dealer because it's not working well. What the car dealer does with a newer car, they take this little plug and they plug it onto the dashboard, and they do a diagnostic and a readout of the electrical system, of the exhaust system, that's the emission system, of the fuel system. And they will determine, based on that scan and that diagnostic, they can pinpoint exactly where the technician need to work, whether it's in the emission system, the fuel system, or the electrical system. And it will point out, well, that's what the quantum sensor is. The quantum sensor gather all the data from within the information field of the human body, which could be, information field from from within consciousness, within the information field within the other fields. Don't ask me how it works. I'm not a physicist, but it works. And if you do want to know, you want to know all the geeky stuff, and if you're an engineer here, you need to know all this, you go to timewaversea.com, and everything is up there. That's where I got the information with my due diligence. So cellular depth is at 0 millivolts. But folks, cancer, -15. And if this is possible, anything is possible, right? We don't dismiss it. The jury is not out. The jury has returned here. The jury had given a verdict here. So it's not a theory. It's something that's been working, because Nuno Nino, people from all over the world have been going to Portugal to get treatment on information field medicine and frequency through these medical facilities in Europe. So let's look at a positive effect of microcurrent treatment. One is increased ATP production up to 500%. Well, what's ATP? ATP stores the energy in the cell, similar to gasoline in the gas tank of a car. ATP is produced in the cell by the mitochondria. The mitochondria are the ATP producing power plant in each cell of the body. It's cellular communication. Cell need to communicate. If there's no energy, there's no communication. If there's no communication, the body doesn't work well, organ doesn't work well. Increased protein synthesis up to 70%. Protein synthesis is the process by which proteins are formed to build cells. It means the creation of physical life, following the central blueprint which is stored as DNA in each of our cells. Increased amino acid transport up to 40%. So amino acid are the building block for protein synthesis. Folks, we don't want to be presenting, become a biologist here, or a physics major or a medical doctor. This is only for educational purpose in simple layman terms, so you understand what we have our hands on, how it works, and why we need it. So Healy itself, this Healy is the same exact, you may want to call it the mini me, because in the doctor's office, you have a big computer, and then you have this big hard drive. So if you have I use an iMac, so everything is all, my iMac, everything is all in one. But if you remember, on your computer, you have the computer tower on the floor, and then you have your unit, your monitor. Well, that's what's in a doctor's office. They have a mini tower on the desk, and they have a computer monitor. Well, that's exactly what this is. This little device here is it's the hard drive, is the monitor. It's not the monitor, it's the desktop is the tower in that there. And then you have your smartphone, which is the computer screen. And then you have your Healy Cloud, and all three works together. But in this hardware, you have the quantum sensor. That's Birkhoff-Heim. See, Marcus spent years with that mathematical formula Birkhoff-Heim came up with to build that sensor. And we are the only company in the world that owns that intellectual property. We own Berkhoff-Heim's work, and Market has that protected through intellectual property. That's worth billions of dollars. Amazon.com tried to partner with Healy before they brought it into the network marketing channel, and Marcus said no, because he knew what the greedy and these people will do. He wanted to do a lot of good. That's why he took it to the world through network marketing. So to understand the bioenergetic field and frequency, let's understand what the Healy is, explain it to you and what it does. So I will give you the features and benefits now with Healy. Wonder why we're not playing. Okay, folks, I got. Okay.
Healy is new, Healy is different, and Healy is extremely versatile. This little game changer is the first smartphone-controlled wearable that provides easy support in all important areas of your life with the use of frequencies. Healy analyzes the frequencies you need right now. The smart wearable applies subtle currents and individualized frequencies to your body via its electrodes. It strengthens your balance and harmonizes imbalances. Fitness, holistic health, and inner and outer beauty. Healy, over 120 programs to provide energetical support for you, for your body, and for your cells. Every single cell in our body is a small power plant that constantly produces energy. One thing is particularly important for this, the natural cell membrane voltage. And this is where the Healy comes in. With Nuno Nina's Gold Cycle programs that focus on rebalancing your cells. Healy also has suitable programs for many other applications on board. Programs supporting relaxation if you have a headache or back pain, but also for learning, concentration, or exams. Healy even offers support for mental balance, sleep, and stress. The Healy Beauty programs are supposed to support your inner and outer beauty energetically. In sports, the Healy is meant to promote performance, muscles, and regeneration. At home or on the go, in your leisure time or at work. In our opinion, health begins with good balance in all areas of life. This is what Healy stands for, state-of-the-art wearable technology, made in Germany to the highest standards. Based on use by 2,000 practitioners worldwide, who have seen as many as 500,000 patients. Healy, for me, and for you, and for everyone.
All right, so here's your application mode. You know, remember, we have to stay within the guidelines of what the FDA says we could say in that first sentence. Is the primary application of Healy is its pain relieving mode. You apply these adhesive electrodes either near to the area of discomfort or more general relief on the wristband that comes with your Healy, and follow the instruction for use. So you have the programs for for over 1,700 different indications you can use the Healy for, and there are much more because there's more than 300,000 frequencies. We only talk about 144, but there are more frequency for specific condition. Remember, this is individualized and it's custom. That's why the quantum sensor, Berkhoff-Heim information field formula, scans the human body and get the correct data for each and every one of you. So the real-time frequency analysis, the time wave and know-how inside, we talk about a quantum sense of analysis of the frequency in the bioenergetic field. So information field control selection from the 144,000 frequency. So once we do the scan, We got the raw material. We provide the solution for the correct precise frequency. So whether it's for fitness, whether it's for pain management or pain relief, whether it's for performance, bioenergetic balance. Why is bioenergetic balance so important? Look what's going on here in the challenges around the world with immune system compromise. Beauty. So one product for the entire family. So freedom from pain, constant or sudden pain, can take away much of what makes your life worth living, folks. I had experienced pain once. You know, I was probably about 26, 27 years old. And I had a muscle spasm. And I will tell you, I thought I was paralyzed because every time I try to make a move, the pain from 1 to 10, if 20 exists, it was a 20, but it was a 10. And when I went to the emergency room, I was given these pills. The size, it's a pill, the size of that pill, it was like horse pill. And it took me a whole week to relax the muscle. Maybe I slept on the wrong side, I don't know. But if you could experience that kind of pain, and that's where number one is pain. So for many pain sufferers, it becomes the main focus of their life and their thinking. Healy provide non-invasive, non-drug relief from acute, chronic, and arthritis pain. Remember, arthritis is a claim. So also muscle soreness due to exercise or work around the house. A lot of people, they go out and start an exercise, they don't do their stretches, they don't do the warm up, and what happens? Because the muscle has not been exercised for God knows how long, you can tear a ligament, you could pull muscles, and those pain, it's like muscle spasm. So, this is where the Healy comes into play, besides the other non-frequency, the non-therapeutic effect. Well, let me share a couple of testimonials here. This is Johanna. This was forwarded to us from Stefano Gabato. He's living in the Philippines, but Healy in Cyprus. Now, this is probably about 7-8 months ago. This is Johanna. He has been living in Cyprus for a few months now, being a friend and a neighbor of one of the Healy team member. In his youth, Johanna was a protege of legendary stock market genius Andre Castellani. He went on to become the country's head of a major American bank and later managed his own investment fund. Last year, he suffered 9, that's N-I-N-E, 9 strokes, spending 3 months in the hospital and 3 months in rehab. Since this time, his gait, that's the way he walks, has been very slowed and unstable. After the Healy Residence Analysis, remember I told you about that resident package with the goal cycle and 2 days of Healy application using energy program, he had been as good as back to normal. That's kind of ambiguous. I don't know how to take it, but he said this here. Johanna has authorized us to tell his story and is sending his regards to all members. Well, if he said that 3 months in rehab and 3 months in the hospital, he's good as to back to normal, you would want to think, what does that mean? Okay, next person here. This is, I'm not going to play the whole video, but a lot of you probably have children or know people who have autism. Well, just look, I'm just going to play just maybe about 3 minutes of it because we're running out of time.
My name's Steve. I have a 22-year-old autistic son. He was clinically diagnosed as very severe autistic. We brought his score down from very severe to severe, down to the high end of moderate to mid-range moderate, and he's getting ready to hit mild now. The therapies we've been using other than diet have been frequency-specific microcurrent through Dr. Carolyn McMakin and neural feedback through BrainCore. In the last 90 days, we've seen very, very substantial improvements with our son. And I've got data. We've been having EEGs done every 30 days and taking the ATEC test for autism every 30 days as well. And both of them collaborate a 48% improvement in 90 days. So our son's score was 148. It is currently 62. and we're taking the test in 2 weeks, and I expect it to be a great deal lower than that. He was 21 when we started microcurrent, and very, very little progress. Had no speech, wasn't able to care for himself, couldn't answer questions, didn't know if you were in the room or not. Now he's very conscious. His vocabulary went from less than a 12-word vocabulary to between 500 to 700 words over the past year. But again, the majority of his progress has been in just the last 90 days. From being a guy that couldn't get his own glass of water, he now does his own laundry, he shaves himself, bathes himself, cleans his own room, makes his bed, more conversational, has gained a sense of humor, learned how to play Uno. So he's made very, very significant strides to where not just me and his mom see and notice, but my neighbors, my friends, everyone that comes in contact with him, his primary care doctor, neurofeedback doctor, they are all stunned with how quickly is improving. A 48% recovery in 90 days is very, very dramatic.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the next story, which is the one that I am going to talk about here. When I first started out here, I talk about my friend Kenny. And my friend Kenny, we are involved in a marketing platform. And back in January, he called me up and he got very excited. And he said to me, John, I just got, I just got back from my doctor, and this is his before test. You will see his blood glucose been always running 271. He came back from the doctor, and his A1C was 11. Is 11. His blood glucose is 271. And he's been using the medical device called a Beamer. And I believe in the Beamer because I started with Beamer 2015, 2016. And I purchased, and this is a $6,500 device. And I use it because it piqued my curiosity, Beamer, because my mom and my sister both type 2 diabetic that use insulin. So I know the Beamer worked on them, but it's a big clunky device that's not very affordable for the masses. Well, what had happened with Kenny, he's been using the Beamer for 4 years, but it had no effect on him. Then he went out and got another machine for $4,500, and it had no effect. And he heard of this because a girl named Jennifer wanted him to build a Healy market inside for him. And he asked, what is this Healy? And she told him what it is. And at that time, you couldn't get it. She got into the company back in, I don't know, November or December. And the company doesn't exist in the United States. They were saying, we're going to come into the United States. So she placed an order for him and shipped that product from Germany, spent $600 to buy the product, to actually pay shipping, VAT, and custom, just to get the unit. And within 2 days, his blood sugar went to 74. And we kept monitoring it and kept monitoring. He kept sending me, I'm gonna actually go, what I was trying to recreate everything he was sending to me. So I actually forwarded it to my text. So I'm gonna actually do here, show you guys all what he have done that he kept sending me every day. And I think it's on Facebook or LinkedIn, and he kept posting it, but I just didn't believe it. It took a lot of belief for me to believe that it was possible that a person can go from all their life being a type 2 diabetic and use all the medical equipments out there and that's claimed to work, and then this little device through microcurrent and information field could actually change a person's life. Well, that guy he went crazy and started building the business since January. Well, I'm a little more skeptical. I like to cross my T and dot my I's. So let's do this here. I'm going to stop this sharing for a little while, and then I'm going to go to pull up my messages where I forward a lot of his story, and I will come back to this. So I'm going to stop the screen here, and I'm going to go to the message and then share the message screen. Okay, and you're going to see the message screen. Let's see here, which one that is. I think that's the message here. Share. All right, so you guys could see as I forward all the message here. This is where Kenny 270. Let's go back. Okay, so here. Okay, let's go to 271. So I knew this was going to come handy one day. So this is where in January, it was what? It says 131. I said, Kenny, when you send that to me, today is February something, so maybe the meter is wrong or broken. Check it again. Well, that was a 271. Then he sent it to me on February 4th. It was 89. February 6th, it was 99 at 8:43 a.m. This was February 4th at 9:29 p.m. after meals. And these are my texts. Why is the date of the two reading off? You know, I'm very skeptical, right? I go, he goes, need to reset it. It show future date, do a video. I said, do a video in real time. You can do before reading and after. So I'm very skeptical because I want to know. So this is 8:43 a.m. when he gets up in the morning, is 99. Then I go, he goes 2 hours after dinner. I go, this is good, under 110 after dinner. The normal, how much carb did you have for dinner? What was your dinner plate composed of and your beverage? He goes, no, it's not. A lot of love after a meal should be about 130, 150. Chicken, veggie, whatever. Well, he started charting himself. And he has the diabetic float chart. He started charting. I have one of the whole 30 days. And he started charting himself. I have a video here I can show Healy and high sugar. This is 7:45 p.m., 107. This is a guy who was a type 2 with A1C. So he's charting himself. I said, FYI, he goes, before you start the medication, you have to talk to your doctor. Because if you use the medication, your blood sugar can drop too low. That's what I'm telling him. But still, you need to check your A1C. Don't get too excited because A1C is what matters. The blood reading is perfect. If your cell is now operating at -70, see, I knew the stuff before Healy. I knew the millivolts of the cell because I was studying with a Dr. Robert O. Young. So I said here, if your cell, and this is before I knew anything about Healy, if your cell is now operating -70 millivolts, that would be great. A cancer cell is -30, diabetes is -40. I knew that from my study with Dr. Young. So I was guiding him. Then he showed me the FDA registration of the device. That's in Germany, and it's been registered in 2020. And the company hasn't opened yet. So here his blood glucose 82 and so on and so on. So folks, this is a story that when I saw this and I got the full 30-day story from him, and I realized, let's see if we could play his video. I don't know if it's going to come up here, but if it does, it'll be great. And he started, I said, take a video. Let's see here if we could come up. It's on YouTube. Let's see if it will come up.
Good morning from St. Petersburg, Florida, overlooking the beautiful Gulf of Mexico, guys. Here it is. Got plenty of people out here on the beach doing their daily walk, which I'll be doing in about 30 minutes here. But I'm here to talk to you today about a little machine called the Healy. You can see it here on my shirt over here. And I had somebody ask me, Kenny, I can't believe your sugar went down from 279 down to a 89. So what I'm going to do this morning, actually, it's been 7 days now since I went to my doctor, found out that my A1C was 10.7 and my sugar was 279. So what I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to prick my finger. I have ample supply of blood over here. And we're going to test it. Doesn't taste good, but he's wiping it on my white shorts over here. So right now it's powering up. And right now, I'm waking up this morning with a 109, folks. That's amazing. From 279 to 109. So anyway, I've had the machine now over 9 days. I asked somebody on the WhatsApp, what do I dial in? What frequency? The Healy has over 140 different frequencies on it. over $100 million invested in the company. It's a 13-year-old company called Time Waver previously, but it comes with what you see I've got on here. It comes with these. I'll just take the phone down. Here's the straps for your feet or your maybe your wrists, which 80% of the programs you do will be on your wrist. Here's some ear clips right here. So this right here is anything for your brain, neurological, sleep disorder, things like that. That helps. Matter of fact, my wife did it not even 3 days ago, and halfway through the program, she was zonked out on the couch. So that's pretty amazing, guys. How do you power it up? Here's your power cord, just like if you have.
All right, guys. So I'm going to stop sharing that and go back to our presentation here. But this is how I started. Let's go back to our presentation. Share a presentation. Okay, so that's how I started on my path on this journey. I started back.
My name's Steve.
I started back in, let me go back. So I started back in, Kenny saw this on January 12th. And in the end of January, I started doing my due diligence because he had the full report. He tracked himself for 30 days. And I said, this is amazing, because if I knew there was, there's over 10.8 million search on Google AdWords for diabetes. My mom and my sister are type 2 and they use insulin. If I could take them off of insulin, oh my God, I think you're not going to be blessed. So that's one of the path that I went on, but I looked at it not on just that. I look at the market inside. This is too good to be true. And I want to know, was it a hocus pocus? Was this just, is that snake oil because it's not a pill, it's not a pill? So I did 5 months, actually 4 months of extensive due diligence. Kenny got in and to build a business, and he's been building it for 4 months now. I didn't join with him. And I went to the company in Germany because I wanted to know, as a businessman, I needed to know everything. If it was a US company, I would have gone to the corporate office. See, I'm a businessman. I understand how business works. And I know if you have a product in healthcare like this, this is what people are looking for. And then you have the coronavirus. So I spend the time, and today we're here. And that's why I started doing these webinars. And as of Friday, I'm showing these testimonials, but because the product is an FDA clear class 2, never before in the history of the world of network marketing had there been a product that's a class 2 medical device. Even Beamer is not a medical device, but Beamer is not an M&M company. I like the network marketing industry because of the power of leverage. I could leverage people all over the planet, especially this company is in 50 countries right now. So I wanted to do more extensive due diligence. Well, with that said, I'm going to share a couple of testimonials, which I did. We're going to do that only from now till Friday. After Friday, there will be no more testimonials because we will be part of a company. And once we sign a policy and procedure, we cannot share testimonial because we'll be terminated. Our wholesale agreement with the company will be terminated. It's a zero tolerance. We can't put anything up because the company's not going to risk. They have millions of dollars invested in this deal in 50, it's going to be in 7 continents. So the timing is perfect. So let's talk about the Healy edition. So these are the 4 different editions of Healy. I'm going to talk about the Healy Residence. The Healy Residence is the first package that you see a price for $23.57. Now, folks, you're going to see different prices here. Get back to the person who brought you. They're going to show you programs and coupon codes that we have that will give you a steep discount, even getting your product for free or even getting free device because it's during a special promote. The company just launched within the last week. But on our organization, as we are building a business, you may want to come back on Saturday at 4 o'clock to learn about the business side of it if you choose you want to market the product. Healy Resident is the Healy Holistic Health Plus. So the Healy Health Plus, the one in the middle, and the Healy Resident is the identical unit, except the Healy Resident has a special feature in it called the Healy Advisor Analyze app. That's where it scans the body. That is what you're looking to scan the entire body and do a diagnostic, and it's only available in the Healy Resident. And we're going to show a lot of people how to purchase that for the same, purchase the Healy Resident for the cost of a Healy Health Plus. Okay, so you have the Healy S Plus, the identical program, less than $1,000 less, and then you have the Healy Holistic Health, and that's the basic. They got two basic package, one for 500, one for 900, and those give you a lot of the programs, and you could always upgrade. Don't mean that you have to look at the Healy Resident. You know, a lot of people come in, they don't have the belief. Personally, folks, I didn't own a Healy. I still don't, but I know I don't need to try the product. Why? It's FDA cleared. The FDA already, when Healy submitted 400,000 documentation to the FDA have to vet it out. They have to vet it out. They know it's safe and it's effective, but they don't talk about frequency. Now we got a company called Time Waiver and Nino Nuno for 15 years, 2,000 doctors and 500,000 people been using it. So I don't have to question it. Maybe it won't work as effective for me, or maybe it doesn't work effective, but it works for everyone after different application. So there's no need. I would rather know. I have my friend Kenny, after 2 days, it worked for him. It's not somebody telling me I saw something on the internet. This is a person I know personally. And I did a lot of due diligence that I could tell you more. Then you have the Healy Gold. It's $470. And that one is the basic, the pure, the care, the balance, the being, the relax, the pain. So this is a basic that could always be upgraded. But we will show you, if you purchase the gold, you purchase the Healy Holistic, you could get, you're paying for the, you're buying the gold, but we'll give you the holistic health. So these are promotion that we are doing in our organization for the next for the next 2 weeks. Now, the Healy Advisor Search. So this is a program here. The Healy Advisor Expert Database describe the complex relationship between core health, chakra, markers, emotion, meridian, organ, substance, food, intelligently networked through artificial intelligence. Find a suitable Healy program and other information. Almost every search query, self-learning algorithm process, query and data in optimum search result. Folks, I'm going to have over the next 2 days, I'm going to have more testimonials. One from a guy who was completely healed in the brain from Alzheimer's and dementia in a matter of 2 weeks. I'm going to put that up tomorrow. So these are things we will bring for you for the next 2 days, until Friday or until Saturday, whichever best for us. Intelligent analysis and search, reliable recommendation from agent, hear, balance. You folks, anything that you could think about, any medical challenge, you know, MS, dementia, it's crazy, okay? So individual request to expert from within the app, which means if you have a condition that you want specific frequency for, you could enter that information in there and put the zip code, and you will find a therapist that's practiced therapist with Time Waiver, that she could look into the database where there's 300,000 frequency and send that down to you to real time through the cloud right into your Healy app, and you get it right into there. Now you got to pay a cost for that naturally, because that's her business. Here you have the digital nutrition. DNA is digital nutrition, is not genetic testing. This is nutrients delivered through frequency. So whatever your goal is, it will scan your body and know what your body is missing, and then supply the right frequency. And with frequency, it's well assimilated and absorbed by the cell 100% into the mitochondria where energy is stored. So find substance. It finds the substance that supports your organism. Using the digital nutrition application, you don't have to purchase these substances, supplements. It selects individual Healy DNA frequency program for you. It creates lists of food that naturally contain the frequency. The DNA program contains the resident frequency for individual substance. They are designed to support your bioenergetic in bed absorbing cells. For bioenergetic support, balanced nutrition and DNA frequency are usually preferred to than supplement consumption of manufactured food. So folks, I'm running a little late here because of the testimonials, but I'm going to wrap this up in 5 minutes because I know it's getting late. DNA is a monthly subscription program for 48 substances. So let's just run through this. So here you have assistant, search, Healy program recommendation, shopping list. And then we have the Healy Watch, which is a companion that I find I cannot do without this, because I use an Apple Watch with an ECG scanner for my cardiovascular, to do my EKG, but I could only store that in my phone. And this Healy Watch, it knows your body, it controls via Bluetooth, not Wi-Fi because of energy spark, but it used state-of-the-art scientific algorithm for measuring frequency measurement of the bioenergetic free for energy, exercise, sport, sleep. A lot of people have major problem with sleep because they have sleep, but they don't have delta and REM sleep. And that's what your body needs for detoxification and rejuvenation, breath and lifestyle. It finds suitable Healy program. Watch makes Healy a close feedback system for body and mind. It measures frequency of your bioenergetic free quickly and easy. Determine which frequency program are best for you. It measure, analyze, and find the program and fix the solution. So is the solution. Latest hardware provide precise measurement, sophisticated algorithm from lead international expert, doctors, physician, therapists, Nino, help you track your progress towards fitness and goal, determine frequency selection of most appropriate Healy frequency program, regularly used and effective. So what it does is measure. The Healy will take, let's say you're having a cardiovascular issue, will do a 5-minute scan of the cardiovascular. How do I know? Because I'm a cardiovascular patient. It will do a cardiovascular scan. You remember, most heart attack occur between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning because of lack of nitrous oxide in the artery, the lining of the artery. And here it would scan the body cardiovascular and get all that data, and then it would transfer all that raw data straight up to the Healy Advisor cloud. Through the artificial intelligence, the cloud would run through 144,000 frequency and send back in real time, because it takes nanosecond to find that, send it back into the Healy app, and that application plan for your Healy device according to the expert database, which goes right into the Healy, right into your body, that frequency will go. One of the things about a watch, you don't need to use cables. You don't need connection because everything is connected via Bluetooth. If you didn't have the watch, you have to use all the cables and you have to use everything. So it's a bioenergetic rhythm, it's a heart rate, it's a heart rate variability, heart rate, stress level, sleep, deep sleep, light sleep, heart rate, sleep, and it's all the data is associated with a coded name. So it doesn't keep any of your information, and it's all encrypted on the 4096-bit encryption. Analyze, evaluation by algorithm, determination of 6 balance parameters using measurements and frequency. Finding Healy programs, create frequency programs suggested from the XN base. The organ clock, very important. We know the organ clock, the 12 Healy Watch Meridian programs. The organ clock will always provide the right program for the organs, active at the time based on Chinese medicine. Because why? The liver and the kidney are the filtering system of the body, and those will always have an impact on all areas of your body. And then you have your lungs. You want to take care of your lungs. Well, this will scan every meridian, which is the 12 meridians there, and do everything possible to bring it back into balance. Because once they have the data of the meridians of those organs, they will bring it back to balance, which a lot of the challenge would really subside and bring yourself back into homeostasis. The lifestyle wearable, it's like Fitbit. Fitbit was sold to Google for $2 billion, and that's a wearable. If you're going to Apple or you're going to Verizon, T-Mobile, Best Buy, you're going to see Samsung, Goblin, Apple, all these are wearable. This is where every company is working on right now, and you have a whole bunch of things that you could track. Calories. There's even an SOS if you're falling, you can't get up, like the woman who fell in the basement. she needs this. Carolyn McMacken in the middle, she is the developer of frequency-specific microcurrent. She treated Terrell Owen, who was the wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was injured on December 19th. Actually, he was injured on December 19th, 2004. He had surgery, and she treated him 4 hours within 4 hours after his injury, and then treated him for 5 weeks after the surgery. And everyone thought his career ended. He went on to play the Super Bowl. He got in the Super Bowl. In 2018, he got into the Hall of Fame. So she is on the advisory board. She has 80,000 frequency by herself. Nuno Nina in Portugal has 144,000 frequency, but also Marcus has information field medicine. So you add the information field medicine by scanning that with a quantum sensor, and then you apply the right frequency. Highest standard, Healy is a class 2 medical device. All required tests. Healy was developed in Germany. The patents, high level security communication between the smartphone and Healy, between the Healy device, hardware and the smartphone, that's a patent. So no one will duplicate us. We hold over 400 patents. This is the FDA cleared certification. Healy is a class 2 medical device for pain. So we can make claims to pain, but not for the frequency. The Healy Watch, and I'm down here, Healy Watch is $214, but all the other programs like the digital nutrition, if you bought the bundle, you have a better deal because you have your nutrition on a monthly basis at a subscription cost. So the bundle here, you got the programs, you have the different programs, digital nutrition, number of program is 12, the Healy Watch, you have 12 programs, plus you have the Meridian, the Healy Watch is $214, and digital nutrition is roughly $95, which is broken down into 2 parts. Substance and mixture is roughly $95. That's a subscription monthly. And then remember, you're dealing with intellectual property and software. And you have here is a one-time pricing of $617 that gives you the Healy Watch, the Healy Advisor Digital Nutrition, Healy Advisor Search, but it's a companion to the Healy hardware that you're going to really like because I like that. And this is a survey. Healy for pain, 14%. Regeneration, 12%. Health, rejuvenation or promotion, 11%. Stress, chronic, and that's the survey. But if you look at it, frequency of use, 80% of the people use it daily, 10% is required, 9% every 2 or 3 days, 1% weekly out of 163 unique users. How do you rate the Healy effectively? 47% improvement of my concern, strong improvement 31%, and slight improvement 18%. Folks, that's a 96% improvement from 248 unique Healy users from 3 surveys. How effective it is? 15% say after 1 application, another 15% say after 2 applications, another 20% after 3 applications, 20% after 4 to 6 applications, 13% after send to 10 application, and 70% more than 10 applications from 158 unique users. But folks, I'm almost done here. 2 slides, 1 done. Recommended rate. If you have a product that has a 94% recommendation to friends, family, associate, and peers, you got a winning strategy for a business because out of a sample of 249 unique Healy user in 2 surveys says they would 94% say they would refer it. The other 6% probably have a bad, doesn't have good confidence with themselves because they just don't like, they don't date, they live on the rock, they don't talk to anybody, or just scared of their shadows. So they won't recommend it. But the other 94%, and if you know that as a business, you can make some serious money because you have a healthcare product that's needed in the marketplace now, and also where economically, where it's at, people are at. So with that, I'm going to share a video here and I'm going to wrap it up. So let me go back here. If you look at this here, the worldwide market for nutritional supplement, 115 billion, 194 billion by 2025 is 7% growth. The worldwide market for health and fitness, 24 billion 2018, 939 in 2024. By Fortune is 24% growth. That's better than Wall Street. But the worldwide market for microcurrent and frequency home application, we didn't mention information field medicine, which is it's in the wearable treatment. And that's what Bill Gates calls it. The next 10 mega trends, one of the 10 mega trend is in wearable treatment. So less than 10 million USD, less than $10 million in sales in the last 20 years. We are first to market category creator. If you could understand what that means, take a look what it means when it comes to business, because when it comes to business, this is what you can do. You could take this product because people, 9 out of 10 will refer it after using it to friends and family, and that's a cash cow. So here we go.
I'm glad you're looking. Don't turn back around. Don't give up as you work to achieve your most ambitious goals. There are 2 questions I want to ask you at the end of this video. Since you have made the right choice at the right time, you might have the correct answer as well. However, first of all, how do you feel today? Feeling well and being happy in life is the most crucial thing there is. What about your goals, the ones that matter, or your plans for the next 12 months? Sure, you can always be setting new goals and reaching higher to achieve new things. But what if you're not sure what to do next? Alternatively, what if you don't have money left for the things you desire? If your way is not working, why don't you try mine? Healy combines the best of all that modern technology and scientific research have to offer. It is one of the most successful startup companies in the wearable field. With development costs of 25 million euros, 13 years of experience in microfrequency therapy, and the leader in the alternative prevention method worldwide. Healy is priceless and therefore not available online. Because your well-being is our highest priority and Healy is for everyone at home, we have decided not to put Healy in stores, but to make it accessible only through members. Yes, to people just like you, thanks to the incredible power of network marketing. Healy World offers you a global business, multiple earning opportunities in 40+ countries backed by leading products in various markets with billions of sales. Partnering with Healy to build your own business allows you to order or refer our hardware that provides people with the right frequencies in every situation. This is one of the best fitness trackers that delivers in connection with Healy individual programs designed to help you to use exercise optimally for your health and to optimize your well-being every day. Moreover, our new DNA is designed to help you maintain a healthy and balanced diet without relying on expensive nutritional supplements. Our products are innovative, effortless to use. I can show you how to use Healy. It's best to try it yourself though. 92% of those who tested have noticed an effect. If you had the privilege of using alternative prevention methods, what would you use it for? Fitness? Beauty? Balance? Alternatively, another area that Healy can offer you? Now think about your goals and realize that I can help you reach them in the next 12 months. If you would like a new car or a new flat as an example, the Rank Team Manager earns €2,000 a month from us, so you can make that too and more. So now my 2 questions. Do you use possibilities for prevention or alternative medicine? Do you know 5 people who would be interested in this topic? If you do, that means you are qualified and can start right away. Healy World is unique and will be next to you to support your first presentation, taking care of your 5 guests. That's right, you don't need to do anything in your first 72 hours. I do recommend you give a big hug to the person who showed you this video. He will help you register as a member.
Okay, folks, for those of you who are joining us tonight, who are here tonight, who are brand new, you will get a due diligence email within the next hour, and you will go through that, and you have a lot of links that tells you more about the Healy product line, the science, and the market. So with that said, I'll say good night to everyone, and I'll see all of you here and your guests here tomorrow evening for a second look. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.